Welcome to another fabulous presentation of the You Name It show, starring only Davin Christensen, who's guested by Randy Mickhail and Jerry Taylor.
Hola,
folks.
Jerry. Hola, Randy.
I know. That was a really dumb intro, wasn't it?
Not at all, Jerry. Your intros are always perfect.
Can't have it all.
You can. You just have to pay taxes.
So, Davin, give us an update on your life at Texas State Fair before we go into the regular show.
It actually cooled down this week.
Nice.
It rained. The tent got wet. Our back room got wet. It got cold. Clients showed up. Changes were made. Everything is dandy.
Everything is dandy. Well, that sounds fascinating. You're really in a great mood today, I can tell.
Except for Ron. He was going on and on about more stories and shit. Oh, God.
Hey, let's do a shout out to Janice Johnson, right?
Yes.
And say, sorry, we're talking a little bit about work
Yeah.
to start up with.
She was complaining that we talk about work too much. She did give me a couple topics to bring up, so we'll have to bring those up later.
And
We will, but I'd like to point out the fact that you almost killed Ron. So.
Oh. Well, I thought he was dead. Ron can randomly just stop working, sit down, and fall asleep. But he's 72 years old, so you don't know if you want to go try to wake him up and find out he's dead, or, Jerry said I should put a mirror underneath his nose, but I was watching to see, and I could see his chest actually moving, so he was breathing. But it's kind of hard to tell sleeping Ron from working Ron, so it's one of those.
It's all the same thing.
Yeah. One, his eyes are closed, and the other one, his eyes are open. That's the only difference.
But the movement's the same. Sometimes we do impressions of Ron that don't sound anything like him. Like, my name's Ron, and I work down at the Texas State Fair. So, Randy, do you have one of Ron that doesn't sound anything like him?
I'm not sure which Ron you guys are talking about. I was going to ask you.
He's one of our setup guys down here.
Yeah, he's just an old hillbilly.
Yeah, I don't think I know him.
No, you just have to do an old hillbilly voice.
Yeehaw, Ron, what's going on?
Hillbillies don't say what's going on.
Whatever, man. I'm not a hillbilly, so I would know.
That's true.
See, the problem with Ron is he's one of those guys that he sets the story up for himself, and you know it's coming. And once it comes, you're never going to get a word in edgewise.
It's just the Ron show.
It's the Ron show.
And for all of the new listeners, we just talk about Ron quite a bit because he's such a character. He's a total conspiracy theorist, like Illuminati-style conspiracy theorist, and political junkie at the same time somehow. I don't know how those two things merge, because most of the time conspiracy theorists are just anti-all government and not. But he's like a Republican conspiracy theorist, so that's strange to me.
He's voting for Gary Johnson, I'm sure.
No, he's a Trump guy.
Is he really?
Oh, big time Trump guy. Oh yeah. Oh, his latest was he is going to stock up on water, because if Hillary gets elected and lets all the Muslims in and they poison the water, he's going to be prepared.
Yeah, it's like Y2K. He's going to have bottles of water all over his place. He probably still has them from Y2K.
It's like, dude, you're 72. Josh looked at him and goes, you're going to die anyway. Who cares?
Ouch.
Really? That's bizarre.
That's harsh.
That he would think that. Hey, you know what I found out? There's a giant that works at our warehouse named Evan the Giant.
Yes.
And I found out two new interesting things about him. First of all, I thought it was really strange. Randy, you know Evan, don't you? The giant.
You know what? Is that the son of Paul, labor guy downtown, Kobo Davin?
It's his son.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
No, I recognized him. I didn't realize he actually got a job at Blue Water, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's contracting. He's about 500 feet tall, and he's a real life giant. But here's the two things that I thought was kind of funny. One, he's afraid of heights. Just want to let that set in there. Just want to let that set in there for a few minutes. That the giant is afraid of heights.
Yeah. Lots of gravitational pull there.
And two, he's got an irrational fear of zombies. Made me think of it with the Ron thing. He told me today for some strange reason that if the zombie apocalypse happened, he would bravely save all of his friends, then shoot himself in the head so he didn't have to live with zombies.
Oh.
Wow. He must have been taking some acid watching The Walking Dead or something.
I don't know. Yeah, bad trip.
That makes my fear of cows seem rational.
Wait a minute. You got a fear of cows?
Yes. Any like big cows, horses, any animals with those big teeth, they scare me.
You should be afraid of every woman.
And goats because their eyes are fucked up.
Their eyes are fucked up too.
Yeah.
You're saying
goats' eyes.
Oh, goats. Yeah, because they are. They're really bizarre. Like, don't they have those horizontal pupil things going on?
Yep. So I've got a fear of cows, horses, and goats.
And the devil's eyes on those goats. I can sort of commiserate with you. See, I used a big word, Davin. You like it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And
did you look that up?
No, I knew that one.
You didn't have to use your urban dictionary for that one?
No, I just have my list of big pompous asshole words in front of me right now.
It's surprising to me, Davin, that you're afraid. It's surprising to me that you're afraid of those animals, because I figured you were kind of into bestiality,
Oh, God.
No, I'm into midgets. I like midgets.
He's into midgets.
Midgets, bestiality. Okay, all right.
But the commiseration comes because people don't realize from afar how powerful these giant animals are. That's the part that freaks me out. I did a job once shooting video for Purina Cow Chow. And I'm serious. I had to travel around to like milk farms all through Michigan one day. We drove to like 9 milk farms and did interviews there. And we would do interviews like standing in the middle of these giant herds of cows, and the whole time they keep telling you, be careful, because if they get spooked, they'll trample right over you. And they're just huge. So I get it. I don't get the teeth, but I get the big animal thing.
Oh, the big teeth freak me out.
Big teeth. That's crazy. So help me God. That's my new phrase that I had to worry about. I don't think I talked to either one of you about this. I noticed it for no reason. When I was driving back from my parents' place up north, I heard someone say, so help me God, and it struck me that that's used a lot. And what does it actually mean? So someone tell me what they think it means when you say, so help me God, and I'll tell you what I think.
Means, oh, go ahead, Davin.
I was going to say, so you want God to figure it out for you?
I
think that's part of it. Yeah. What do you think, Randy?
Well, hey, guy in the clouds, help me out here.
Yeah, I mean, think about that.
What else?
So let's put it into practice. I promise never, ever to punch Randy Mickhail in the stomach. So help me God. So what I'm really saying here is that I can't actually guarantee it unless God helps me.
You're going to need God's help, buddy.
If there's an absence of a God, Randy, you're getting punched right square in the stomach, I'm telling you. That's the only way around it.
Let's see you try, buddy.
It's just a metaphorical punch in the stomach. It's not a real live one. Plus, we're all in different locations anyway.
I know. I'll punch you in the stomach tomorrow when you least expect it.
Don't you find that I just find that to be weird, and it's in all of our oaths and all of that stuff. And really, by saying it, you're pretty much just indicating that you don't really know if you're ever going to be able to keep that oath unless God is helping you.
Well, you know what would help that, Jerry, is a gluten-free diet. So,
okay.
Yep, some liquid silver and maybe drinking some peroxide every day.
Yeah. You're lumping together a couple of our different characters, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
That's great. That's great. Somebody would listen to you, Davin. Don't say shit like that. It's like the people who listen to that article online. Somebody posted an article online that said, "Hey, drill through your new iPhone 7 to get yourself an audio jack," and people did it. Can you believe that? Did you guys see that?
No way, really? No, that's insane.
It's all over, and there's people in these blogs like, "I cannot believe I fell for this," and like, "Oh, I did what you said, and oh, my phone doesn't work, my display doesn't work." It's like, well, what do you think? You just drilled through your phone. You really think, oh yeah, Apple puts the jack behind the plastic, but they're not going to put a little hole there. It's like, oh. Look it up. There's so many people. I don't know. It's worse than, I don't know if it's worse than people putting their phones in the microwave. You know.
That's so stupid. It's so stupid because they're saying to these people, go find yourself a 1/16 drill bit and drill through your phone, and I swear you'll find a headphone jack back there. So help me God.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really do not get it.
That's funny.
Yeah, look, when you get a minute, look at it and read some of the people's comments. You'd be surprised just that the people are so oblivious and that the comments show it, you know?
I'm trying to think of other ways that people have done stupid shit like that, too. Because this isn't the first time that the public's been spoofed by somebody.
It happens all the time. People just do whatever you read on Google, do it, you know?
That's interesting. I wonder what we can get people to do.
Yeah, right? We should try it. We should put something up and see how many people we can get to do it, and then, you know, check the next show and be like, oh, we had this many responses or whatever.
500 people wrecked their phones because Randy and Davin told them that they could find a midget in there or something weird.
Yeah, no, we're just trying to weed out who's smart and who's not, you know? Come on.
Yeah, what do they call that? God, there's a name for that, the evolutionary name for that, like weeding out the something or others. Or
Darwinism?
It's not just it's Darwinism, right? See, look at Davin with the brains.
Yes, there's Darwinism, yes.
There's survival of the fittest, and then there's another way of saying it where they're talking about getting all the dumb people out. Natural selection, I think, right?
Yep. And
ask Ron about natural selection tomorrow.
Okay.
See, that's the bad part about society now is, you know, we wear seatbelts more. You're forced to do shit. You're forced to wear helmets when you ride your bicycles. Although motorcycle riders, they let ride without motorcycle helmets now. So maybe they want to weed them out. Who knows? Just saying the government's against them. But
well, I know. I mean, that's something I've said before too. Like, why do we have to wear seatbelts? Because that guy's not going to wear a helmet.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But maybe the kid that's wearing the helmet now that flew off the handlebars trying to jump over his dad's pickup truck with his friends in the front yard and land in the pool, maybe he needs to get taken out.
Wait a minute. Are you speaking from experience in some way, Davin?
No. I mean, you guys remember growing up?
Well, I was just going to say, that thing came together pretty quickly. So
I was dropped on my head several times as a kid, but it wasn't due to a motorcycle or bike accident.
That explains it. But did you guys remember growing up? Like, there was not like warning stickers on everything, you know? If you were stupid enough to smoke a cigarette while you were opening a propane can or something, you know?
Yeah, that was just sorry, you lose is what happened.
Yeah,
1970. Exactly. Yeah, 1970, middle 1970s and early ones were just the whole era of you just lose. You know, it wasn't until the JART until everybody got worried.
Yeah, people had so much more sense back then to think about things like that. Now it's, you know, heads buried in the phone, social media every day, you know.
Yeah. You reminded me, though. You'll laugh at this. I wish you guys... Davin, did you meet my brother when you were at our party?
Yes, I did.
So I go to my brother's house to drop something off, and I go in, and he goes, come here and look at this. And I'm like, wow, what is it? This is so cool. He takes me into his office, and in his office, he's got like a 1920s fan, like a tabletop fan, and it has no protection. It's just got a basic, like,
the blade.
You could get your whole hand in there. Yeah. And he's like, isn't that cool? This is the way they should be now. You could get your finger cut off with that. And he's, you know, showing it to me, and I'm thinking, well, you're right. We grew up with that shit all around us.
Right.
I'm not sure I want one now, though. You know?
Yeah.
do learn a little bit from that.
Yeah.
Davin, let's play the game. Give us some of your topics. We'll figure out what they are.
Okay. Let me see. Let's see.
Randy, we play a little game on the show sometimes. It's the topic game, and because we write our show notes in such a cryptic way, we try and see if the other person knows what they mean.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give you 3, and you guys are gonna have to come up with what they mean.
Okay.
Okay. How many people in the late 80s had Columbia House ruin their credit?
Okay.
That's one of the topics. This one is pumpkin spice ooh.
Okay, all right.
Let's see where. 1,789 stores equals 8,100 per store.
Wow. I have no idea what that last one means. The first one is none.
Yeah.
That's the answer to number 1. Number 2, I already know where you're going with that because you love pumpkin spice so much.
Oh God,
that
it's awful.
You're thinking of what else could they make out of it too.
Well,
Did you ever get a? Didn't you
also-
tell me that you hired a hooker named Pumpkin Spice once?
No. I was wondering though, how come they don't have like sunflower seed flavor out there or other? Why did pumpkin fucking become so goddamn famous and popular?
That is a good question too, because people eat sunflower seeds all the time, and why wouldn't they have sunflower seed flavored coffee?
Maybe they don't taste like anything. That's why.
Maybe somebody
Maybe.
did it and it tasted like shit, so they were like, not such a good idea.
So you're thinking maybe they just sat down one day and went, well, pumpkin doesn't taste that bad, so let's put it in everything.
You know what I saw
don't know.
down here? I saw maple syrup, but it's bacon flavored maple syrup.
Oh, I saw that online, and I thought the world is a much better place for that.
I'm gonna have to bring some back for you, Jerry.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Because everything's better with bacon and maple.
It is. Okay, so what's your
Randy-
thought on the last topic?
I have no idea where that was going at
Yes,
all.
I eat bacon, Jerry, just so you know.
Yeah, because you knew where I was going with that. I was going,
I
Randy,
knew.
do your people like bacon?
You didn't even have to say it. I knew exactly what you were saying. And yes, I will eat bacon right in front of you just to prove it. I've done it before, and I'll do it again.
Oh.
You probably do it all the time.
Oh, yeah, at the auto show, I have to eat pork in front of Bobby and Brent all the time, those guys. Shh.
Do you have a made up peanut allergy though?
No, it's not made up because I never made it up, but I get where you're going with that.
Okay.
I just I took a Benadryl. Come on.
Yeah.
And you flew on
I
a
like
commercial
to,
flight, and it was good.
Yes, I'd like to explain to the audience what that actually means. Evidently, and I don't know this firsthand, but somebody who has worked with these guys in the past made the poor choice of trying to avoid, trying to avoid eating something by saying he had a peanut allergy that he didn't actually have, and then he was locked into it for years.
Was that the reason? Because he didn't want to eat something, you're saying? That's the reason he created the peanut allergy story? Because I didn't know that part.
I don't know for sure. I'm guessing. Davin, do you know the real?
I don't
full
know the
part of
real
that?
reason behind it.
I
Somehow
don't
it
think
came
there
out
was a
that he was
reason at
allergic
all.
to peanuts.
I think
No,
it was
because the way that I heard a story before, and it may not have been from either one of you guys, was that it was one of these, here, try this, and I'm not going to eat that because I'm allergic to peanuts.
Yeah.
And then it turned into where you had, people would say things like, hey, why are you eating that pad thai? It's got peanuts in it. Well, it's not the same kind of thing.
No.
you know?
I took a Benadryl, and I took a Benadryl as the excuse. It is, and I don't think you can just take a Benadryl for a peanut allergy, or you need an EpiPen.
Right.
Oh.
You Name It show brought to you by Benadryl, the wonder drug. Yeah, right.
You getting paid by Benadryl for
doesn't.
that?
No, I just like to throw them out there. I'm hoping that someday a sponsor will hear it and start sending us money.
Yeah,
Hey,
that'd be
did you
great.
look into that thing that Daniel brought up when he downloaded our show? He said he was getting a bunch of pop-ups for Uber. Are they one of our sponsors now?
No, what happens is places like TuneIn Radio and maybe Stitcher when you
Yeah.
listen to a show, like if you pull it up on your phone, you'll see it. You stream the show, it'll have those pop-ups that come up every once in a while. They're just actually making money off of us.
That's because of my cab connections. I hooked you guys up.
Oh, that's
That's
right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, all of your public transportation friends.
Petrol, public transportation. You need convenience stores. Anything. You name
Stores, strip clubs,
We call them party stores here, okay? Yeah, strip clubs, nonetheless.
Irish bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy, why do your people run all the Irish bars in Detroit?
You know what? I have no idea. You would think, you wouldn't think, but it is every time. It's the brown
Well, you know
guys
what's funny?
running the green establishments.
It is kind of funny you said that, Davin, because there's a bar in Westland called Malarkey's, I think it is.
Uh-huh.
And it's an Irish pub, and it's run by a bunch of like first generation Greek people. Like, what's going on with it? I know these people. Like, it was my niece's ex-husband's family connection, and I'm like, oh, Malarkey's with these guys.
Yeah, give me a saga.
Accents and everything.
Give me a Saganaki and a Guinness, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some Greek swear words. I can't think of any.
I know a little bit of Greek, but not any swear words.
You got to be careful when you say you know a little bit of Greek. Back in the 70s, that meant something else.
Oh, yeah. Not that kind of Greek.
That's right.
No.
Let's see, what else?
Was that Hummer girl I dated was Greek. Remember her, Davin? You remember her?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Fotini.
You're still friends with her.
Oh, yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's down in Florida now. But, I learned some nice some Greek words from her, but nothing,
They were more pillow talk, weren't they?
Exactly.
I think Randy needed to own an Irish bar just to afford that girl. She seemed like she was high maintenance to me.
She was definitely high maintenance, but she was still a sweetheart. I mean, we kind of, mutually went our separate ways, so that was all good. But yes.
I've got a question for you. If you were able to hook up with this beautiful, high-class woman, tell me what the technique you used to pick her up was.
This particular girl you're asking?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because the other girl, I'm sure Davin remembers her too, Tanya. Do you remember Tanya Gunn, redhead Hummer girl?
No.
You don't remember her? Anyway, she asked me out one night. Ended up going out. I ended up meeting up with her, and her friend, the Greek girl Fotini, came out with us, and ended up, we bought them drinks. We went out dancing. It was great, and ended up giving that girl a kiss instead of Tanya. So it's how it, as far as detail goes, I mean, it was just, I don't know, the alcohol kind of took me where I needed to be, I guess.
Well, it's all a very fascinating tale, but I heard something today. I heard a new explosive rumor about our friend Davin Christensen.
Oh, what's that?
And it comes from a very reliable source, too, of a source that has its name spelled correctly.
Oh.
Oh.
Bill Christensen, okay.
Spelled correctly. He says that there was a time where you were reading a book that was teaching you how to pick up women by staring at them.
Now he remembers.
Yeah, there was an actual book. And that was just,
And I'm curious about this book, Davin.
it's probably still my desk at work. No, there was it was how to meet people and build connections and stuff like that, but yeah, there was a whole little chapter on how to stare but not stare too long, not to be creepy and that type of thing.
I can't help but picture you just
Practicing.
burning holes. Yeah, burning holes. No, not practicing. What are you, staring at your Farrah Fawcett poster? That's funny.
Well,
Did you
stared
try
too
it? Did you try it?
Stared too long. Her boyfriend's coming to punch me in the face.
Who keeps hitting their phone with their cheek, damn it?
I don't know.
Not me.
I think it's Randy.
Oh, they can't hear it anyway.
No,
Only
they can't.
you can
That's
hear
just
it.
me bitching. I know. I just picture Davin just sitting in a bar by himself, gazing longingly across the room at some broad. And then just having her just think, who the fuck is that guy?
Creeper. Well, that's kind of how I feel when I get back from work. I come out to the pool and I sit out here and hang out and drink a couple Moscow Mules and maybe a beer before I go up to bed, because you can't smoke in the hotel, so I smoke out here by the pool. And I'm the only one out here. And I'm bald and I'm sitting in the corner drinking a Moscow Mule out of a copper mug. And if you come out, I'm the weird guy.
That conjures up a nice image, doesn't it? Hey, do you have your shirt off and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Has your skin tanned at all since the accident in the hot tub that bleached you?
He doesn't tan. That guy burns. He's just red
It's
all the
fine.
time.
Who, me? I tan. It's a perma-tan.
I know. You do tan pretty well, too, but I'd still like to make fun of you and
It's
pretend like you
the
look like you
redneck
have
tan.
mayonnaise skin. What were you saying about that earlier today? White neck?
Yeah, you guys aren't rednecks. You're actually white necks.
Yep, 'cause they burn.
The thing was that you did, because you talked about the hot tub incident where you were bleached by chlorine.
Yes, I was.
And then we decided that made you a white neck instead of a redneck.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
So now I tan real easy.
You know that people constantly tell Davin stories, don't you?
Oh yeah, all the time. Let's hear some. Come on.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fine.
Davin knows. That's the one part about being so goddamn famous, is that everybody has a story. I used to hear stories on the road from people I never met before who knew Davin, just strange people. They weren't
Okay.
even Tsar guys.
I want to hear. I want to hear what some of these stories are, and I'll verify whether they're true or not.
Well, you know they're true because they always take place in the same place.
In a bar.
Exactly. I went to the bar once with Davin and this guy named Magic something or other, Magic Jason or something like that. And I remember this guy got into a fight, and then Davin stepped in and said something ridiculous, and everybody laughed, and the fight was over. And, just shit like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Just stories like that. Speaking of fighting, I'll tell you one of my topics, and you tell me what I mean by it.
Okay.
All right, topic number 2 on my list is titled Jason Bourne is the Sucker Punch King.
Oh. I bet you were watching the Jason Bourne movies, and he sucker punches people.
That's it. That was a good show note, because I watched the most current one. First, I watched the Bourne Ultimatum or Supremacy or whatever hell the last one was called, and then I watched the new Jason Bourne movie. And the thing that I took away from that whole series of movies was that guy sucker punches everybody. If you think about it, he's always like hiding behind a door, and then someone walks by and he jumps out and hits him with something. It's just so stupid. So my challenge to all of our audience members is to try and get through a Jason Bourne movie without cracking up, because he's constantly sucker punching everybody. It just cracks me up, like the Stooges or something. It's weird.
Oh, did you guys watch?
All right. You don't like that? Well, you don't have to like it. But Jesus Christ, it's still entertaining, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's entertaining to hear you talk about it, Jerry.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Give us another topic, Jerry.
My last topic on the list is right up your alley.
Okay.
It's called Michigan Lottery Win.
Michigan robberies what?
No, Michigan Lottery Win.
Lottery win. Okay, I thought you said robbery. It's pretty much
Yes.
the same thing. We're talking about the lottery. Where's the money going?
They're really good at it, and the Michigan Lottery has now turned into Las Vegas. And
Okay.
I know that you haven't gone online yet, have you, Devin?
No, I have
For
not.
that. But in Michigan, for all of you out-of-staters, you can go online and you can create an account, and they have not only just the big game, Mega Millions, Powerball kind of stuff, but they have these little scratch-off games that are basically just electronic slot machines. And you can sit there and play them for real cash. And I've done this before, but last night I decided I was going to waste some time. I put $20 in the account, and bam, $195.
Nice.
That's how you get addicted, though. They get you, give this guy one win, and then he'll buy $500 more.
I know, because I wasted the $100 right back out of that.
So,
see what I mean? You see, it's a trick. It's a trick.
So they put it in your account. So it's all online. What do they pay you in Bitcoins?
No, I wish. Those things are worth a fortune. They're like $650 a coin right now. But
depending where you put them.
You could transfer it right to your bank account. It's not all just fake, Davin.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Ron about the lottery, and he'll tell you how corrupt it is, probably.
It's run by the lizard people.
The lizard folks. I wanted to tell you about that because I know that you'll eventually get hooked on it, and I wanted to laugh with you about that.
Okay.
Because it was just like playing a slot machine in Vegas, one of those electronic ones.
And, we used to have fun.
And they had the extra spins and roll the dice, and you get 3 dice on the board, and you get an extra. Then you pick. You roll the dice again and pick how many squares. You eliminate them, and then whatever's left over is the bonus. And I had like a 700 times bonus, or whatever the hell it was.
What's the stat though? Isn't the stat like you're more likely to get struck by lightning than you are to win like the big lottery, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't play it often just for that reason.
The problem is the video version. I couldn't do it with money because I would forget I'm playing with real money because it doesn't seem like you're playing with real money. So therefore, you're not. And
you mean like it's because you're on your phone or you're on your computer, you're not sitting in a casino that it seems different? Because I still felt like I was playing with real money.
Well,
but
I could play video games for like 2 or 3 hours straight. Whereas if I did that with real money,
you'd be broke.
At one of those sites, I'd be broke. Yeah.
But you do that with real money. And you're playing little video games,
and
you're playing
broke.
one in particular that you like because it's got midgets in it. It's called the Willy Wonka game.
That's true.
And you'll sit and play that for hours with real money. Hey, I've made a decision. I was thinking that we should go to the casino sometime, but then I forgot to tell you that we've made a decision. We're going to have a show at your house when you get back from Texas State Fair.
Okay.
And I'm going to stay the night so that I can get ripped.
Okay.
And we can have a bunch of special guests. It'll be great.
It'll never happen. Jerry always comes up with these grand plans, and then mowing the lawn gets in the way, or some kind of party, or he's got to brush his teeth.
Jerry, you're going to prove him wrong, yes?
I know, but it does take a while to brush my teeth. I got to take them out first.
Well, they're so big, and Davin's afraid of them.
I am.
That's right.
I'm afraid of goats,
big
horses, cows, and Jerry.
No, this one should be an easy one because once we get going towards the summertime, no one's doing any weekend events anymore.
Right.
And we just find a nice Friday night, and I come out there and get hammered. And then Bob even indicated that he might not be so far in the background this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because he was making jokes today that were making lots of people laugh. And I'm like, why aren't you ever talking on the show? And he gave a good point because he can only hear one side of it.
Yep. It's true.
We can get a whole setup going so it's everybody's got a mic. Everybody can hear. We can set it up. We're smart. We're in the audio-visual business.
I'm only home for 9 days, and I'm sorry, Jerry, but I wasn't planning on you sleeping over.
You don't want me to spoon up with you? I'll be the small spoon if you want.
Oh, we can cuddle, Jerry.
All right, guys, I'm going to mute my headphones for about 5 minutes until you guys are done talking.
It's probably a good idea because it's gross.
So wrong.
When do you get back anyway? I'm trying to think.
October 26th.
Hey, that's the day before my birthday.
Oh, yay. Happy birthday, Jerry, in case I forget.
You're only home for 9 days, so it's going to have to be the 28th, the 29th, or the 4th, or the 5th. Unless I take a day off of work just to get drunk with you and Bob.
Well, we are having a weekend at my house as well, Davin, maybe, with a golf weekend at my house.
Yeah, so, I got to email him and let him know that. Yeah, I got to firm that one up.
Gonna do the golf simulator. in the
I
garage.
thought you weren't going to talk.
Simulator.
Thought you weren't going to talk sexy talk anymore with your firming it up.
Oh no.
What? Who's doing a golf simulator? What? Nobody in the audience has a clue what you guys are talking about. Somebody fill them in.
Oh,
Randy is a sub on my golf league, and
Yeah.
every year after the league's done, they have a golf party. Well, they wanted to have it in my garage, and my garage isn't finished yet, so Randy and I discussed having it at his house since he has a golf simulator in his garage.
Oh, well, golf simulator. I see how it is.
yeah. You
Dealing
guys are
with a
more than
high
welcome.
roller.
You're more than welcome to come over and play. No, I just don't have any kids, so you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, anytime you guys are more than welcome to come over and play it. It's a fun time. I got a heated garage, nice, a lot of room. It's fun.
Yeah, when you don't have kids, Jerry, there's a lot of things you can actually have. I look at Kendall every day and I think, man, that's my Corvette convertible.
See,
Sitting on the couch playing Xbox.
I brought up a good point. I know. I mean, I'm not
Yep.
saying that I would never want kids, but you know, kids are expensive, and I just don't have any. So, you know, there
And
you
then
go.
my daughter's the vacation house and the jet ski that I never will
That's
own.
funny. Yeah, you're not the only one I ever heard that from. I heard it in the real live mean way one time. My friend Kelly Kenedjian had 3 boys, and they were all rambunctious and little kids. And the oldest one, Nicholas or Nick or whatever, was doing something ridiculous. And Kelly just stopped and screamed in his face, "You're the Corvette I never had!" Like, what the hell, man? You scared the shit out of this kid.
That's great.
It's terrible.
So, Jerry, I told you this story earlier, go back to golf. But yeah, last Tuesday, you guys, you know Pete Zwolinski, don't you, Davin? Pete, our local guy down in Detroit.
No, I don't.
Okay, he's on our crew now. I thought you may have knew him, but he invited me to go golfing with him. You know, Monday we were at a meeting at Blue Water. So go golfing with this guy Tuesday morning. He pays for the golf. It's cool. You know, we golf for the 9 holes. We hit the clubhouse on the turn. You know, I buy him a drink. We buy hot dogs. We walk out, and I take a bite of my hot dog, set it down, go over, tee off on the tee box, go back to my cart, sit on my hot dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mustard and onions all over my ass. So I was known as Mustard Ass all day. And then
Mustard ass.
And then soon to be, changed to Mustard Gas.
That makes more sense.
So yeah, I had to share my embarrassment with you guys. Yeah, sitting on a hot dog, not the greatest thing in the world.
Everything sounds so sick today with you guys. Randy's sitting on a hot dog. Me and Davin are spooning. Everything's wrong today.
It is.
Everything's
It's all
upside
off.
down. But I don't remember if I said this, Davin, when we did our Racist Michigan Adventure show, that when I went to Michigan Adventures, maybe there's a show after that, that exact same thing happened to me without the hot dog. I sat down on one of their benches, and I had like tan shorts on, and I sat right in mustard, and I was mustard ass the whole day just a month ago.
Oh, that's the worst.
I know, because it looks like fortunately it was bright enough yellow mustard that it didn't like brown stain it, because there's always the danger it's going to look like you shit your pants.
I don't know what's worse, that or the time I went to a golf range, buzzed, and put my token in the machine without putting a bucket below it.
Oh, and it just poured out.
100 balls bouncing all over the concrete in front of 50 people, man. I was so embarrassed.
Embarrassed drunk Randy.
Oh, I was embarrassed and buzzed up. Yeah, I'm like, oh, what am I doing?
How many people here have ever shit themselves? Raise your hands.
My hands up.
Is that prior to 5 years old? Or is there any age limit on
My
it?
hands up. I shit myself when I was 22. That's the last time.
Oh no, I still worry. There's days at the office after our.
I still worry. Oh no.
So your body isn't actually built completely to accept all the drinking you do, right?
Exactly. Did I ever
could
tell
say
you about?
that Oh, go ahead.
Did I tell you about my friend Daryl, who used to run camera for the Pistons, and his shitting?
Yeah, you did.
adventures?
Yeah, you said that one on the show before too. It was right in the middle of a game or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's in the middle of a Pistons game and he had to go, so he asked the director if he could go, and they're like, well, no, you got to wait until halftime. And all of a sudden he got off his camera, and the camera guy next to him said, oh, he went. So
Yeah.
he actually went. He shit himself on the camera. Then he had to climb out over the front row of people and walk down the aisle in front of him to get out. And ended
With
up
his shit pants.
ended up doing the rest of the game wearing some Pistons sweatpants that he had to buy from the locker room store.
That sucks. Mine was because I had the fucking flu.
Oh,
And I was
well,
driving to work.
That's excusable.
Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't like a regular one. It wasn't like one of those people that get drunk and shit the bed or anything.
you know what? I remember one now, guys. Thanks for having me remember this because I tried to forget it.
Okay.
Yeah, 7th grade. I must have been 11. Yeah, 7th grade. Teacher. I was a shitty student, so the teacher already didn't like me. So when I really needed to take a shit, he wouldn't let me go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I shit myself in class.
And
Man.
Was it half on purpose?
And nobody knew like that I had shit myself, but I let out like what it sounded to be like a huge fart, but it wasn't a fart. It was some shit.
It was
And
a full-on log jam?
I actually ended up like staying after the class and going up to him and being like, "Thanks a lot, man. I just shit I literally, made the guy feel like shit, and he was really, really sorry after I shit myself." So at least I got to go home for the rest of the day.
Did you have to go to the nurse's office first?
No. I called my
That's
mom, dude. I
funny.
went to the shitter, cleaned myself up as best as I could. My mom came and picked me up. Yeah, I was embarrassed. That was some pretty embarrassing shit.
Come on into the office, Randy.
No pun intended.
Go see Nurse Gladys Winthrop. She'll take care of you. Terrible.
Gladys
I
Winthrop.
think
Nice.
I don't know what that name was, but I think I might have either pissed myself or shit myself in kindergarten because I remember wearing somebody else's pants home.
Oh, that's
Well, kindergarten, kindergarten's kindergarten. That's going to happen, right?
Yeah, but isn't it great that they had extra clothes just for that, such an emergency?
Have you ever puked on your dog?
On the dog? No.
Yes.
I know you have,
I have. That's
because
one
you
of my
told me
highlights.
that one before. But I did use puke to my advantage before. When I was a kid, I was the worst at eating all of the vegetables and stuff, as you can tell to this day, Davin, because you eat with me quite a bit. And how I used to get out of having to sit at the table all night was that I would just take a bite of the shit I hated so much it would make me puke, and I'd just throw up on the table, and then I could go watch TV.
You'd like gag yourself at the table, or you'd just be able to eat a vegetable and then just throw up just from eating it? Or did you have to gag yourself or force yourself to throw up?
No, I didn't have to do any manipulation. I just had to taste the shit that I hated, and I just get it over with.
I know a lot of models that
That's
would
funny,
love
Jerry.
you to train them.
Not much training going on. I just hated that shit. It was like they would make chop suey, and I hated it because it was just stringy, grossness. You guys ever have chop suey?
I have, yes.
I just hated that shit.
Yeah, the little bean sprouts in there, all slimy bean sprouts. Yeah, I get what you mean.
And onions, stringy French onions or something. I don't know what they were making, to tell you the truth.
Chop suey? Were you raised by a Chinese family?
I was half raised by a Chinese family.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
sorry if you were. I'm sorry, Jerry. I'm just asking.
No, not at all.
Okay,
They made them sit in the basement and sew Nike sneakers together.
Yeah, well, what happened was I was separated from my family when I was younger, and I found this nice old man named Master Po, and he trained me in the martial arts and fed me chop suey. It was great.
Master Po?
Yeah.
I eat that all the time.
Master.
It's great. Oh, that's pho. That's right.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, that's right. Master Pho.
Faux, fa, whatever. Po. I don't know.
D5 giant heaven.
Well, I could catch a fly with my chopsticks, so
You can
that works out
accomplish
for me.
anything, Jerry. Anything at all.
And he details a hell of a classic car, too. He wax on, wax off.
I can do all of that, yeah. I did a lot of that. You
A
know
lot
what
of the
chop
wax
suey...
off.
See,
I do a lot.
and back to that.
You just admitted you do a lot of that.
Yep. You just heard it in your way. Just to divert from that uncomfortability. Then, you know what chop suey is? Have you ever heard the origin of what chop suey is?
No.
Chop suey was invented in the gold rush days over in California because the Chinese people would feed everybody, right? So eventually they would like run out of stuff, so they'd take whatever the fuck they had left over and they'd stew it all up and make chop suey, which literally translates into like leftovers. So there's no real recipe. It was just whatever the fuck they had left over.
Wow, I did not know that. Is that why you didn't like it, Jerry?
Because I don't know why they were putting all that shit in there. I didn't like a lot of stuff when I was a kid. Nothing with a vegetable in it. Anything that was like, there was textures that I couldn't take, like the slimy onions. My dad would fry burgers and onions, and I'd hate it.
Jerry ate cow chow. Let's put it there.
Yeah, what did you
cow
eat?
chow.
Did they get you some Purina or what?
That was just rich in nuggety goodness. Cow chow. Everybody loves that. All right. Enough beating up on me. You jackasses.
This in from the Daily Caller. Come on, Jerry, let's hear it.
I don't have one of those.
You don't.
I don't have an Athens Sentinel
Messenger.
or whatever the hell it's called.
Messenger.
Athens Messenger. Yeah. Well, good thing Mark doesn't listen, because otherwise he'd be mad.
Did you hear, so Arnold Palmer passed away.
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you know how they got the Arnold Palmer drink?
No, I don't.
He came home from
not.
golfing, and his wife made him a big pitcher of tea. And he actually said, hey, you've got some lemonade in the fridge, too. Why don't you add a little lemonade to that, and let's try it out. And he liked it, so he started bringing it to the course in a thermos bottle.
Okay.
And other players started drinking it, too, and thought it was refreshing and everything. And then he was in the clubhouse one time, and he ordered one from the waitress, told her to put about a third of lemonade in there. And a lady at the table across from him said, I'll take an Arnold Palmer. And the waitress is like, what? Mm-hmm. I'll take what he's having. And that's how the name Arnold Palmer became acquainted to the actual drink.
That makes a lot of sense. It does, too, if you think I never actually connected the whole fact that lemonade was the same as putting a lemon in your iced tea. I'm just an idiot that way, though. But
well, it's more than that. You're adding a third lemonade to it, or a quarter, based on how you make it. Some people make it half and half, and
right, it's the chop suey of refreshing beverages.
Indeed.
It's all the leftovers, exactly.
What else you got? You said you had some Janice topics.
Well, the one that you guys did not even pick on when I said 1,789 stores, 8,100 per store.
Right.
It was a topic that we glossed over because we don't really do current events too much. Do you remember when they had that big transgender movement where they all wanted bathrooms? They're trying to determine, if you're male or female or whatever you associate with, or, they want their own bathroom.
Right.
So Target announced that they are going to invest $20 million to add transgender bathrooms to every one of their stores.
Yep. I knew of that, yeah.
So there's 1,789 stores as of 2014, which makes it about 8,100 per store.
8,100 per store.
Dollars spent per store.
Oh, dollars, yeah.
To appease these people. Now, what I want to know is, are they taking away the cripple bathrooms, because cripples aren't relevant anymore, and just putting a transgender sign on it?
I was trying to figure out how this could go more downhill until you started saying that cripples aren't relevant anymore.
Or that's so hard.
Or are they going to take away the family restroom and convert that?
I don't know what they're going to do. It seems to me that you could just have like 2 restrooms with locking doors and and just put unisex on there, and anybody can go in there.
Or here's a cheaper thought. What if they still appease the cripples, still appease the families, so they still have those bathrooms, but now in the men's room and the ladies' room, they take one of the stalls and they just put longer walls in, so they go all the way down. And call that the transgender, and then they'll have to send the $8 an hour security cop to make sure that there's no like glory holes ever cut in there, or graffiti and stuff like that. But that could be the transgender one. What do you think?
I don't know. I was sort of wondering if it could get worse, but now we have transgenders, cripples, and glory holes. Sounds like a good show title to me.
I gotta give you one. So now, if they're going to do this, is every place going to do it?
No, I think they're just on their own. But did you hear what happened when they announced that? Because this has actually been a couple of months since they talked about this. Mm-hmm. Their stock price dropped drastically. They were punished by the market, it appears.
Bummer.
But I really don't care whether or not there's a transgender person in the bathroom.
You know what, Jerry? What you saying about the unisex sign? Just put a unisex sign up there, right? Put the male, a female, and a sissy right next to them and call it a day.
Did you say a sissy?
But how do you draw a sissy exactly? I don't know. A stick figure of Davin. It's perfect.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm so far from transgender, Jared. Oh, Jerry, that wasn't you ripping. That was Randy ripping on me. Thanks, Randy. Appreciate it.
No, I don't rip on you that often.
I'm gonna start
that's for all the years of being called a cab driver, okay? And we're not even yet.
Oh, okay.
You still got a couple more to go, huh? Well, everybody, that appears we're at our normal time, but it's fun. Anything else we should talk about before we have to wrap this up?
What else is there to talk about?
Oh, we didn't get to the Janice part. Did she have
that was
because we wanted to make sure
that was
her one?
That was one of the topics that we glossed over, was the transgender restroom. She wanted to hear our opinions on that.
Oh, I thought that she gave you topics. Okay.
So on the stalls going all the way down to the ground, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, guys,
well, I think we got our opinions out. Our opinions are... I think the general consensus is I really don't give a shit, and there's probably, because did either one of you guys really give that much of a shit about that?
Not really. No, not at all.
I mean, I'm not one of those people that would just be all mad about it. I just don't really care.
Yeah.
But really, on the rational thing for all bathrooms to do is to give you a room you can go into where you don't have to be with 500 other people standing there pissing.
Right.
You know?
I mean, it just goes right back to what you said, though. What's wrong with just using a unisex bathroom? There's nothing wrong with it. Who cares what gender you are or how you identify? It's a unisex bathroom. It goes for anybody. So create single unisex bathrooms. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lord. It's as simple as that, really.
Well, are you talking about the unisex where it's just its own little one toilet room, or are you talking about the unisex bathroom like the concert halls that you go to when you're seeing a concert and the girls come in and pee in the sinks?
Oh, that's sexy. No. Single unisex bathrooms that are private. Then it doesn't matter. Everybody's got their own private bathroom. You don't have to worry about, a 12-year-old girl going home asking daddy why, she saw a guy in her bathroom,
Right.
Daddy, why did I see this guy who had long hair and boobs in the bathroom in high school today? Yeah, your parents shouldn't have to explain that, right?
Put on a helmet, honey, and go out to the car and wait for mommy and daddy to finish getting drunk.
All right. The helmet, I'm guessing, is for the bad drunk driving that's going to happen, right?
And every unisex bathroom should have a glory hole, according to Davin. That's the Davin spec. Like, if he was the architect of these unisex bathrooms, they would have multiple glory holes and LCD screens and, everything you can imagine.
Wet wipes.
Yeah, wet wipes. You name it.
Would the glory holes actually be at the height of a person or of a dwarf?
Both. In Davin's world, it would be both, and then there would be also a little refrigerator in a corner with a bunch of yingling in it.
We could provide a step stool.
Not dingling, but
Provide a
yingling.
step stool. A special step stool for Davin's guests. You guys are hilarious. Well, we got there all right. We got right down the wrong path.
Always.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of You Name It. Share with your friends, and we'll see you again next week. Say goodbye, fellas.
Papa Wheelie,
Goodbye.
guys.
Goodbye, fellas.
Oh, God.